What's up guys, today we're going to be going over the Palmyra rocket launcher you need to be crafting in Destiny 2 right now. And that's because it has a role available that results in the best DPS combo right now for practically every boss fight in the game. And I think a lot of people are crafting the wrong one, including myself up until recently. So in this video we're going to be showing off what that role is, along with the full combo and how to pull it off. Right now, my code AIR is 30% off for G Fuel through this weekend, so definitely take advantage of that. You can go ahead and click the link in the comments and description. That'll take you over to their store, find something you like, and try it out. So first, how do you unlock the pattern for the Palmyra? All you have to do is get deep sight versions of the weapon, the red boxes, then fully upgrade them. And I believe it's 2 or 3. If you're not sure how many you've done so far, you can go to the patterns and catalyst in the Triumph page, and it'll tell you how many you have done out of how many you need to get the pattern. And once you do that, you simply craft the weapon and start leveling it to unlock all of the perks on it. So if you look at what perks you want, first in the left column, the barrel, it doesn't really matter. I always use volatile. In the magazine slot, you want impact casing, the only one which will increase the damage. It's not a huge percent, it's like just a handful of percent increase, but better than nothing. Then I want to talk about the right column first. So there's a lot of good picks. I think Journal Junkie or even like Chain Reaction could be really good for journal play with Void 3.0. But then for the damage perks, there's gonna be 3 on the weapon. The worst one's gonna be Frenzy. You pretty much never want Frenzy at all. It's only 15% increase. So something like Explosive Light or Lasting Impression will always be better. And those are gonna be the 2 I want to talk about first. So we first look at damage on Carl with Lasting Impression. There will be a delay after the impact for the explosion to happen, but the explosion will do a lot of damage, as you saw right there. If we compare that to Explosive Light, which will be obviously instant, the Explosive Light is actually 4.7% better, hitting 118,000 with this rocket launcher. But if we add in G-Horn and get Wolfpack rounds for our legendary rocket, if we look at the damage on a strike boss, because Wolfpack rounds do less damage to real bosses, as you'll see with the Explosive Light, it will not buff the Wolfpack rounds itself, whereas with Lasting Impression does buff the explosive part of the Wolfpack round. So every Wolfpack round does both impact and explosion damage. As you see, the explosion number is a little bit higher than the base one. So with Wolfpack rounds on the rockets, Explosive Light is still better, but only 0.4%. So they're pretty much the exact same damage. So both with and without the Wolfpack rounds, the Explosive Light is technically slightly higher. And I did test the enhanced Lasting Impression. All that does is increase the blast radius, not the damage. So definitely don't waste your materials on this unless you just have a bunch to spare and you're just trying to get like the perfect rocket. But this does not increase damage on the weapon. So it would appear that Explosive Light is better, but for a raid boss, you need to use all of your ammo and usually use double rocket reserves. So if we do that, the ammo will go up to a total of 9, which means with Lasting Impression, will do 1.3 million damage. But with Explosive Light you can only hold up to 6 stacks. So that means your last 3 rockets will be with no perk at all, doing only that much damage, which means overall 9, Explosive Light is actually doing much less damage at 1.1 million, which means once you get through all of your ammo, Lasting Impression is actually 12.7% better. So overall in the right, I think the best for boss fights is actually Lasting Impression, because you're going to be using all of your ammo, and overall of your ammo, it is the better perk. Now for the left, there's really only 2 perks you should be looking at. Ambitious will give you 2 in your first mag, which will help for burst, but for long fights, which is kind of what this video is about, you want auto loading holster, and there's also enhanced auto loading. So we look at if that is important or not. We need to first talk about the second part of the combo, Izanagi's Burden, with the ×4 honed edge shots. And what you want to do for this combo is you want to first shoot your rocket, then shoot your Izanagi and reload it, then pull out your rocket again, and in theory the auto loading will have it ready to go. But as you see, with regular auto loading, you're actually too fast and it does not proc the perk for you. But if you go ahead and put on enhanced auto loading, it'll be slightly faster, but that slight decrease in the time it takes to proc the perk is enough to allow this combo to work forever. So shoot your rocket, pull out Izanagi's, reload it. The second you see the bullet reload, pull out your rocket, and as you see, it is procced and ready to go. So yes, enhanced auto loading is a must for this combo and what allows it to actually work. So if we look at the DPS of this combo, we need the number for Izanagi's ×4. That hits for 121,000. Now looking at the rate of fire, we're doing this twice. So rocket, Izanagi's, reload it, rocket, Izanagi's. As you see, that took 4.4 seconds, which means the DPS is 120,000, and that number won't fall off as you do this more and more because you'll never have to reload. And if we look at the total ammo count of this weapon, we have 9 rockets and should be able to get off roughly 6 times 4 shots, which means a total damage output of over 2 million. So this combo is the best of both worlds. It's really good for total damage output while maintaining a really high DPS number. So the Palmyra you should be crafting is a handling masterwork with volatile launch, impact casing. Then left you need enhanced auto loading, then the right you just need last impression. The regular perk is more than enough, and if you want more blast radius just for journal play, you can get the enhanced one down the road too, and that will allow you to do the full Iznagin combo and result in one of the highest total damage output combos while maintaining one of the best DPS numbers possible. And from there, the rest of the combo for raids, you want one person on G-Horn, one person on Div for both the debuff and hitting the Iznagin shots a little bit easier, and everyone should be on burst DPS supers, which I'll be making a video about this weekend, maybe tomorrow even, depending on if I have time, comparing all of them and seeing which ones are the best. But more or less, you want to be using Mobius Quiver on Hunter, Thunder Crash on Titan, then Nova Bomb on Warlock, and depending on which boss you're doing, if you're doing the final boss of Vow, where everyone's moving around, you don't really want a well or bubble or banish shield or anything like that, which means you have no buff. But what you can do instead is use high energy fire, which will be a 20% buff for your weapons as long as you're charged with light. So what is the best way to become charged with light for a boss fight? Well, it's pretty simple. You just use radiant light, which is an arc charge with light mod, which will make nearby allies charge with light when you pop your super. So as long as you're all near each other and there's at least 2 people using this, everyone should become charged with light by popping their super right when the damage phase begins. And if you want to throw on another mod just to make it more consistent, you can also use Powerful Friends, which will make it so that when you become charged with light, nearby allies also do. So if you think about it, in the boss room, it's a square, right? And if you're not all on top of each other, if one person pops their super with Radiant Light, they will only charge people right next to them. But if those people also have Powerful Friends on, it will kind of like chain it even further and go all the way around the room. So depending on how organized you are, running both of those mods will like guarantee everyone becomes charged with light and has that stack the entire way. And even though the point of both your special and heavy are all about saving the ammo for the boss fight, running a void weapon, for example the funnel web with volatile flow or volatile rounds, is more than enough to get you to the boss damage. It is absolutely insane for ad clear and surprisingly really good for single target damage for a primary. So taking down the glyph keepers or whatever, you still got all that stuff covered with just that one weapon. So yeah, I think that is it for the video. Pretty straightforward. The rest of the video will just be our one phase kill, which we did like 20 minutes after contest got lifted. And this really wasn't that optimized because we were still in the mindset of playing under light. So it could be a lot smoother, but we still got the one phase in. And yeah, my code AIR is 30% off for G Fuel. Definitely take advantage of that. Like usual, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.
R1.
Where are you going, man?
L1. R1.
Yep, should be.
Last one. Broken. Okay. Oh, I'm glad I shot my tether early. That's very epic in poggers.
Take it, bro.
Reloading.
Final.
Reloading.
Oh no.
Oh, I died because of that darkness, dude. Oh, okay, we're good.
Go!